Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are going to start off with remediation techniques. So previously I made two videos which was on air pollution and water pollution, so you may go and check them out. And so after we have done with the pollution, so it's our duty to study about the remediation techniques and how do we control them. Right, so let's get started with. So the first topic for remediation in this video will be wastewater management and how it is processed out and how it is carried out. Alright. So the major sources of wastewaters are domestic, industrial, agricultural and hospital research centers. And sewage is the first or the prime example or the prime source for wastewater, as it contains human excreta which is carried away in sewers and drains, and the major constituents of all of these wastewaters are water, which holds of about 95%. Also it has organic, inorganic substances, acid and alkalis, toxic substances. It has color producing substances, oils and fats, and microbial species. So moving on to this, so how do we assess the water quality and how do we determine that this is a wastewater and this is a pure water, whether it's either of the two. All right, so the waste quality assessment is carried out with the help of some of the physical characteristics as well as chemical characteristics. So under physical characteristics we have order, color, turbidity and temperature. So the order, if the water is pungent and offensive due to presence of H2S or CH4, the color may be brown, black or yellowish in color, or turbidity due to dissolve in suspended solids, and temperature, hot industrial wastewater and microbial load. More temperature reduces viscosity of sewage, affects microbial species. So these are some of the physical characteristics through which we can term that the particular water in a particular environment is a wastewater. Also, some of the chemical characteristics that we have here is the suspended or colloidal solids, which is basically the quality of solid materials floating in the water column which can be filtered. Then we have the total dissolved solids, which is determined by evaporating known volume of sewage water. Then we have volatile solids. Basically their proportions can be determined by igniting the samples at about 550 degrees Celsius in a furnace for about 15 to 20 minutes. And loss of weight represents volatile solids. And also pH. So if the pH varies from 5.85 to 8.5, which indicates acidity or alkalinity, and a pH of fresh sewage is alkaline, but it falls due to production of acids by bacterial action. So these are some of the four chemical techniques through which we can determine or assess the water quality. Alright, which is suspended solids, total dissolved solids, volatile solids and pH. Also we have inorganic solids as well under chemical assessments. So presence of inorganic solids such as nitrogen, chloride, phosphorus, copper, silver, all of these substances that may be present in the water. Also talking about some of the inorganic solids, we have nitrates, chlorides and sulfides. So let's just read about them, which and their presence in the water can be deadly. So talking about these substances or these inorganic solids, so under nitrates it adversely affects health and especially in infants, and they even cause methemoglobinemia, or also called blue baby disease. And nitrates must be oxidized to lower its ill health effects. Also chlorides, their concentration is also very high in untreated sewage. So chlorides and nitrites we have gone through, so these two are definitely unhealthy, and sulfides are even more worse. So their microbial aerobic decomposition, or sulfur to sulfide and then to sulfate. So this is the aerobic decomposition of sulfur, and under anaerobic decomposition we have sulfur, then it gets reduced to sulfide and then to H2S plus methane. So all of these gets released in the absence of air, and whether in presence of air it gets reduced from sulfur to eventually release sulfate. So that gives foul smell basically and corrode concrete sewer pipes. So these are presence of these four especially inorganic solids are deadly. So nitrates, chlorides and sulfides, basically three. Yeah. So talking about some of the organic solids which may prove to be fatal if they are present in the water, which can be carbohydrates, which counts in as sugar or starch, fats, oil, grease, and nitrogenous content, which can be protein, urea, decomposed waste, etc. Also, they form removable scum on top of the sedimentation tank. So definitely it forms, as you can see, this is a sort of a scum, all right, that forms some sort of a layer of waste or something that is unwanted, that forms a layer on the top of the sedimentation tank. So talking about another water assessment, chemical water assessment quality is chemical oxygen demand, or COD. So basically it's the amount of oxygen required for chemical oxidation of organic matter. So it is nothing but the amount or the percentage of oxygen that is present in that particular environment for the oxidation of organic matter. Alright, and it is expressed in mg per liter, and commonly 0.25 N solution of potassium dichromate is used for COD determination. So this is the amount of oxygen required for chemical oxidation of organic matter. So talking about another water quality assessment method that we can get from here is the BOD. So we just now studied about COD, which is the amount of oxygen that is needed for conduction of a oxidation in organic plants, organic matters. So in BOD, or which is the biochemical oxygen demand, it is nothing but it is the measure of the amount of oxygen required by aerobic microorganisms to decompose biodegradable organic matter in the water into CO2 and water. Alright, so it is basically the amount of oxygen that is required by aerobic microorganisms to decompose biodegradable organic matter. Alright, so it's nothing just but the amount of oxygen present in a particular environment or a lake or anywhere that helps to decompose biodegradable organic matter by the aerobic microorganisms into CO2 and water. So talking about more degradable organic contaminants has high BOD or COD. Alright, so high biodegradable organic contaminants has high BOD or COD because they tend to absorb or take in more oxygen. Alright, and it is determined by a Winkler's method and expressed in mg or ml. So BOD can also be termed as can be also named as Winkler's method. Yeah. And also if dissolved oxygen is less than 4 parts per million or 4 mg per liter, aquatic animals such as fishes die. So definitely a saturated level or a minimal par level needs to be maintained, or the oxygen level must be at par for the survival of these marine species. So talking about the biological characteristics, alright, so water assessment method we have. So in this slide you can see the BOD has been explained perfectly in a step-by-step process. So BOD, as we know, is the amount of oxygen needed by the aerobic organisms to decompose biodegradable substances. Alright, so the stage 1 and stage 2. So let's get started with the stages of BOD. So stage 1, it has the amount of oxygen necessary for microbes in the sample to decompose biodegradable carbonaceous material. So the oxygen needed by microbes to oxidize nitrogen matter, and also known as nitrification demand. Alright, so these were the 2 stages for BOD. So let us study about these. So polluted water usually continue to absorb oxygen for months. Alright, so as high the polluted as contaminated or contamination increases in water, the BOD demand or the BOD increases, cause due to the presence of microbes present in it which absorb oxygen at a very quick rate. So the demand also increases. So only 5 days incubation period is generally chosen at 20 degrees for the standard BOD test. Alright, so this is a standard, and you might feel to remember it. So this is a 5 days incubation period is chosen at 20 degrees Celsius for BOD test, in which 60% of oxidation process is completed, and expressed as BOD5 or simply BOD. So if BOD determined for 3 days at 27 degrees, it can be expressed as 27 degrees on top and 3 at the bottom. So 3 is the day number of days and 27 is the temperature. So this is how it's expressed. This is generally carried out in 5 days at 20 degrees Celsius. Alright, in which around about 60% of oxidation process is out. So talking about another sample or BOD test, here we have another step-by-step process, as you can see. So let's get started with the step 1. So seaweed sample is diluted with a known volume, this is spelling mistake. So it is diluted with a known volume of BOD dilution solution that contains salts, nutrients for microbial action, phosphate buffer to maintain at 7 or to 7.5. So BOD dilution solution is fully aerated. So in the step 2, initial dissolved oxygen of the sample, diluted sample is determined. So we need to note down the initial DO or dissolved oxygen, and it is then incubated for 5 days at 20 degrees Celsius, and DO is estimated and final DO is determined. Alright, so as a BOD test is carried out in 5 days at 20 degrees Celsius, so initial dissolved oxygen concentration is noted, and after 5 days again dissolved oxygen concentration will be noted. So the difference between the two dissolved oxygen concentration, or the initial and the final dissolved concentration value, indicate oxygen consumed by the seaweed sample. Definitely the difference is the consumption or the amount of oxygen that has been taken by the organisms present in that water. Alright, so BOD can be simply calculated by a simple method, which is the DO consumed by diluted sample. This is obtained by subtracting initial minus final, alright, the difference between the two, into volume of diluted sample by volume of undiluted sample. Alright, so this is the volume of diluted sample that we are using, that we need to note down, and the volume of undiluted sample. Alright, so that we also need to note. This is how we calculate it, and also there at the same time we have limitations conducting this BOD test. So this is not as successfully proven, but this is most prevalent method that has been used. So there are some of the limitations, such as it measures only the biodegradable organic matter. So this is a very negative point, and this is improved in a further named process, which is known as COD. So COD measures all of the organic matter, whereas BOD does not. Alright, so it measures only the biodegradable organic matter, alright, and not non-organic, not inorganic matter. Alright, so it measures only biodegradable organic matter, and the time duration for the test is very long, which is 5 days, and the toxic chemicals and nitrifying bacteria can cause interference and require pre-treatment in order to avoid them. Definitely, and there might be scenarios that in those 5 days another sort of bacteria or another sort of microbes grow in, and thus they may cause some sort of discrepancies in that process. Also, it is essential to have high concentration of active bacteria present in that sample. Alright, so basically high concentration of active sample is required so that the consumption of oxygen increases, and thus we can we can get a proper BOD estimation. Alright, also algal growth may produce oxygen in the bottle, so light must be excluded. So definitely these are carried out at dark places. Alright, so these are carried out at dark rooms where there is no light. Alright, where to avoid the algal growth, which absorbs oxygen or which produces oxygen in turn. Alright, so this is how it carried out. And talking about the last part of this video, so in COD, so talking about the COD, so we went through VOD previously, so now talking about COD. It's in COD, strong oxidizing agents such as potassium dichromate, which is represented as K2Cr2O7 in acidic medium, takes 3 hours to complete it, and it can be used to measure both biodegradable and non-biodegradable organic matter. Alright, so whereas BOD would measure only biodegradable organic matter, whereas COD measures biodegradable as well as non-biodegradable organic matter, and it takes only 3 hours for the completion of the process with the help of certain oxidizing agents, and here we have potassium dichromate as the oxidizing agent. Alright, Also, this one point is very important, and this is COD should be always greater, or is always greater. COD is always greater than BOD. An average BOD for 5 days of domestic water is 0.08 kg per day of a person. An average BOD for 5 days of industrial sewage is 350 kgs per day. So this is a massive difference depending on the contamination, or depending on the dilution of water and how much it is diluted with the microbes. All right, so this is the thing. So let's just keep this video till here. I'll be back with another video, and I'll be continuing from where I left now. So I'll be continuing from here on, and stay tuned, and thank you for watching this video.